Alright, look, this is one of the scariest cars I've driven in a long time, and I've driven some pretty crazy stuff. This is adamlz's Barra swapped GT350 with 900 horsepower and 900 foot-pounds of torque. It has a massive Garrett turbo capable of 1200 horsepower with no front sway bar and a massive tire in the back. So not only am I going extremely fast, it's extremely tough to keep this thing straight. The Barra engine is something I've always wanted to drive, and it definitely lived up to its vicious reputation. So fasten your seatbelt and let me take you on one of the wildest rides of my life. Before we move on with today's video, I just want to give a huge thanks to today's sponsor, Warby Parker. Warby Parker was founded with a rebellious spirit and lofty goal to create boutique quality eyewear at a revolutionary price point. And Warby Parker is committed to exceptional vision care online and in stores, offering eyeglasses, sunglasses, eye exams, and contact lenses. And glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And you can try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. You order 5 pairs of glasses to try home for free for 5 days. And it's great because there's no obligation to buy, and you can try on each pair and ask your friends and family for different opinions. And what's even better is that you can even contact Warby Parker and their stylist to give their own input and opinion. And what's great too is the glasses ship for free and even include a prepaid return label. The glasses that I went for was more of a minimalistic look because, you know, a lot of the track environments and stuff that I'm in, it's good to have really resilient quality glasses. I wear contacts most of the time, but sometimes it's great to just have glasses on you. These are a little bit more simple and blue that kind of go with my jacket actually, which is nice. They're nice and comfortable and not overbearing on my face. This one kind of meets in the middle with a nice white accent all the way around to add contrast to whatever you're wearing or just in general have a different look. And then I got these 2 other pairs that are a lot more, I guess you could say, minimalistic with their frames. Very slim and almost hard to notice that they're on your face. They're extremely comfortable and they don't feel too brittle. That's the thing. A lot of the times when you get frames like this, you are so scared to drop them or something, but they're fine. They're really good quality. They're gonna be okay. And then I got my Superfly ones with the gold accents. So the great thing is say I look at this and I go, oh, you know, maybe my friends aren't feeling it. Then I put this back and then I put these back on and I go, you know what? These were the right pair for me. And then you go ahead and use your prepaid shipping label for free once you've chosen your pair of glasses. So make sure to try on 5 different pairs of glasses for free at warbyparker.com/blue. Thanks so much to Warby Parker for sponsoring this video, and make sure to click the link in the description below at warbyparker.com/blue. So here I am in a Shelby GT350, but not just any Shelby GT350. This GT350 has a Barra swap, or Barra, whatever you want to call it. Here in America, we never got this engine, but I've always wanted to drive one of these engines, and I'm so excited that it's in a car that I'm very familiar with, the S550 platform and the GT350. So this is gonna be a little bit of a learning curve for me. That's why I'm starting it up like this, because this has a full sequential PPG transmission, and I rarely drive these, so bear with me. It's flat foot shifting, and you just have to be committed to it. What's really interesting about it, though, is that it starts up just like any other GT350. Push button start, clutch in, ready to go. I'm in neutral, and this guy right here tells me what gear I'm in. First gear, though, I could probably do this entire video in first gear, because first gear goes to like 75 miles an hour or something. Every single warning light you could ever imagine comes up because it has no idea that there's a different engine in this thing. But surprisingly, the speedo works and the tach works, so we are good. Charging service system, okay. Okay, first gear, pull back once, clutch in. Yeah, that's a sequential for you. Okay, let's do this. This thing sounds so good. So, the Shelby GT350, I drove it when it first came out in 2016, and I adored it. I did an entire driving school on it. Then after that, I did a VMP Performance bolt-on. Then after that, I drove a Fat House Performance twin turbo kit, making about 1,400 wheel. absolutely bananas. I love the Voodoo engine. The Voodoo engine revving to 8250 RPM as an American V8, I think is one of the coolest things Ford has ever done. But with the Voodoo engine, in the very first years of it, this is a 2016 car, there was an issue with the oil filter. There was so much vibration out of the GT350's engine that it would vibrate the filter off. It would back off like this. And therefore, Adams backed off and it caught fire. But other than that, everything's okay, right? And that's why there's a giant scorch mark on the front fender. So I kind of like that he left it because it kind of shows the story of why this car is the way it is. If you know a 2JZ, you'll understand how a Barra works. It's essentially an inline 6 turbo. It was a 4-liter inline 6. 2JZ is a 3-liter. This is a 4-liter. So this engine has a very similar legacy to the 2J. Big power with minor mods and a giant single turbo. This Garrett turbo is a 1400, so it can make up to 1200 horsepower. It's just loud. That's not me messing anything up. The sequential is just loud and there's a ton of vibration. The shifter is vibrating so fast when I look at it, it's absurd. Adam said if I'm just driving around, go ahead and clutch in. If I'm 50% or more in the throttle estimated, I can flat foot it. The one thing I'm noticing about this is that there's no front sway bar because the oil pan is so low in the Barra in this. But what that is doing is essentially making it very floaty. This car is pretty sketchy. It floats a lot. It's like driving a boat. By removing the massive sway bar of the GT350, you get a lot of play in the front end. This is making 900 horsepower with 900 foot-pounds of torque. This is our gym. You can't have it, America. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, even driving this thing normal, it is going all over the road. And it's like, how's this gonna feel when I get into it? Oh my God. I had zero traction and the entire front end went back and forth. My life. Why did I say yes to driving this? Oh my God, like it's so floaty and bouncy. That's what's sketching me out, dude. Adam was not kidding. He was like, are you sure you want to drive this thing? Working out all the kinks. I just want to let you know that Adam is working out all the kinks on this thing. He was like, yeah, just go try it out. Just go try it out, right? He was originally going to ride with me in the car, and then he rode with me in the Chaser review, and he said, you know what? No, I'm not doing that again. Everybody looks terrified. They have every right to be terrified riding this thing. It is absolutely terrifying. I believed Adam, but not to this point. Holy shit. I do have to say, for being a novice with a sequential, this is so helpful to know what gear you're in. You have to have this. Also, the car still looks like a GT350, and most people to the untrained eye go, oh yeah, it's a GT350 with a freaking slick on it. It's no big deal. Part of me wonders if you put a skinny on the front of this thing, it would be easier to drive, because what it kind of feels like is the front end, I'm just probably talking out of my ass, but it feels like the front end is gripping so much sometimes that it makes the whole front car go like this. It's like with slicks and skinnies, you kind of accept defeat, right, with front traction, but it makes the car a little bit more predictable when you don't have front end grip. It's also on a Haltech ECU, which helps sort out a whole bunch of the bugs by putting this engine in a GT350. Ah! God dang it, bro! So scary! I don't think that transmission's loud enough. Adrenaline junkie, and I am having a hard time coming to terms with my life decision to do this for a living. What am I doing? Like, it's the torque that's so scary, and Adam changed the torque band in order to try and remove some of the spinning, but it's still terrifying. I just saw a cop. Poor guy still in a Crown Vic. I feel bad for that guy. Crown Vics are cool. But if I was a police officer, I'd be like, really? This is the best you can do for me right now? It is terrifying to do anything else in this car. I'm holding my camera because the vibration was so bad. So if I look goofy with my arm out, this is why. It's my pale, pale arm that turned more pale from being terrified. So one thing you'll notice is that sometimes when I go to shift, it doesn't quite want to shift, and that's because the sweet spot is like right around 6,500, but I'm so focused on not, you know, passing away, as they say, that I don't look at the tach enough, and therefore it's just not wanting to shift at higher RPMs, because there's no real true rev limiter to keep me in that spot. So basically, as I'm trying to pay attention ahead of me, I'm not looking at the tach that much, so that's why. If I get in the sweet spot, I get to go to the next gear and get to be terrified once more. So shifting at speed and not clutching in is a muscle memory that I have really struggled with today for this video. I still instinctively want to hit the clutch every single time, but it just depends on your throttle input. Basically, if you're at low throttle input, you clutch and shift it. And also sequential, if you've never driven it, this is not an H pattern sequential, this is just a up and down sequential, so you up, up, down, down to shift. So my impression of the Barra engine, or Barra, I keep switching back and forth, I'm so sorry. I keep saying Barra and Barra. My impression of this engine is everything that people said it was. A lot of the times, when you get to drive a platform that we never got, like you remember the RB26, it was like this foreign engine, the SR20, all that stuff. This was not a situation of don't meet your heroes. It was every bit as wild as I expected, and it was everything that I wanted. It behaves a lot like a 2J. That's what's really interesting about it, in my opinion. The turbo is laggy enough that it almost adds a fear factor, to the point where when it's time to go and it's time to spool up, usually that's when I'm excited. This time it was when I was scared. That says something. Oh yeah, also the whiff of Ignite Red every time you terrify yourself. On that note, what do you guys think about the Barra GT350? I literally feel like I survived the scariest thing I've done in a very long time. Leave a like on this video. Make sure to put in the comment section below what you think of it. Huge thanks to AdamlZ for trusting me with this vehicle. It means the world to me. And on that note, I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Big announcement. Super proud to announce my first ever merch collection over at ThatDudeinBlue.com with designs I'm super proud of. So for my first ever collection, make sure to head over to ThatDudeinBlue.com and consider supporting the channel. And thanks so much for the support.